Welcome back to the Turn Purpose to Profit video series, where we are here to help you really get clarification on what the heck kind of business you should be building. Where is God calling you to lead, impact, and make contribution through your work? And I'm your host, Jen Johnson. Today, we are here with a very good friend of mine, Mr. Brian Fryer. Coach Fryer
Hey.
in the house. What's
Woo,
up?
woo. We're
How
here.
are
Let's
you?
have some fun. Let's party.
Yeah. So for those of you who are living under a rock and don't know who Brian is at this point, he is the founder of the Social Impactor Group. He has an array of, success inside of network marketing, and he has shifted into being the all-time rock star of on network marketing coaching. That's what your focus is now, right? So I'm really excited to talk about the shift that you made with inside of, going from being a network marketer to actually coaching network marketers and how they can successfully build their business. So why don't you, plus I know you have 4 kids and you're vlogging and you're doing all the things. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on in Coach Fryer world?
For sure, for sure. Well, first and foremost, Jen, just want to say thank you so much for the invite today. I know all the folks who pick up this summit are going to just get tons and tons of value and just really, really proud of you. I mean, just seeing your journey and us being a part of each other's journey the last several years has just been really, really cool. And I know that this particular program that you put together is really going to positively impact a lot of folks. So I just want to say thank you for putting this together and thank you for the invitation for sure.
Absolutely. I'm glad you
Yeah, so I guess our story. Maybe I should do I'll do the short version. Born and raised Southern California, out there, somewhat close to Jen, a little north. So I'm a SoCal guy at heart. I had a lifelong dream of playing professional baseball. It's all I wanted to do. My whole life was play baseball. Went to junior college, went to college. At my senior year in college, had the opportunity, got drafted. San Diego Padres, was able to play 8 years professionally. Baseball, lifelong dream, just something I'd always wanted to do. 2 really cool things happened in the midst of that 8-year career. First, I was introduced to my now wife, and like Jen said, we have 4 amazing kiddos. We live out in the Midwest now. And the second was I was introduced to the network marketing profession. Halfway through my career, had some back injuries and stuff, was introduced to a product, helped me out a ton. And next thing you know, I was learning all about the business, you know what I'm saying? And that was halfway through my baseball career. And I really started thinking, I was like, well, I played baseball half the year. I worked in the oil industry the other half the year. I said, when my baseball career is over, do I really want to do oil industry stuff, right? 12, 16, 18-hour days away from my family, traveling all the time. Or is there something else out there to where I could spend more time with my family? And in walks, right, network marketing into my lap. We've been in and around the network marketing profession now about 10 and a half years. We built for 7.5 of those years. We were with a couple different companies. First 4 years in network marketing, we didn't make a single dollar in profit. We really struggled, but a great learning lesson. Some people, maybe think of it as like our 4-year network marketing degree, but lots of learning lessons, tons of great relationships and connections made. Shortly after that, my wife, Danny, says, let's take a little break. I'm tired of running off all of our family members and friends. I'm going to come and sit on the sidelines for a minute. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to drive down to Best Buy, buy us a laptop, and I'm going to go dive into this social media thing, this whole online conversation, because we've ran off everybody we know personally. I'm going to see if I can meet somebody new online. So I did that for about 1.5 to 2 years, dabbled in a couple of little things to really kind of test out what I was learning before, being introduced to a new startup company, joined them. Long story short, Danny got back on board for the next 3 years. We became the number 4 earners in that company. We built 100% on Facebook and just had an absolute blast, met lots of great people, traveled all over the place, and did some cool stuff. Unfortunately, about 3 years in, that company merged with another company. For the sake of transparency, I think God was maybe just leading us down a different path, but we were forced to make a decision. Do we go look for a different network marketing company to join, or do we listen to the people? And at that point, the people were reaching out to us all over the place, from all over the world, leaders from all different companies saying, can you teach me what you just did? And more importantly, can you help me teach it to my team? Because we see the emergence of technology, social media. And so we were backs against the wall. What do we do? And it was at that time, Jen, we decided to transition. We felt a higher calling, I guess, to be able to serve and impact the profession as a whole. versus maybe just our own team based on what we had done and learned. So here we are 3 years later, fortunate, grateful to be able to be working with just some incredible folks, teaching them how to use social media the right way. And that leads us to today.
Oh, I love it. I'm trying to think of when I met you. Were you kind of in a transition during the time that I met you? Because I remember seeing you all the time and I'm like, okay, he golfs, like, but what does he do? Like, I don't remember if you were kind of like, is that when I met you, when it was transition? Oh,
correct. It was like I think it was right towards the tail end of that 3-year run, and then us transitioning and, all that cool stuff. So yeah, it was right about that time.
Yeah. So I think it's really cool because I've been able to just see you do that climb. And I knew you had kind of been in the network marketing industry but you were kind of shifting and all of a sudden doing all these videos, and then your videos were going viral. And now you're the guy that, started the trend of like creating the live thumbnails and all. It's just
gotta have some fun.
Yeah, it's so crazy to watch you watch the growth that you've had. And I think a lot of times, people coming in and seeing who you are, they think, oh my gosh, this guy's just crushing it, but they didn't really get to watch the journey. And I feel really blessed that I've been able to be a part of that, because I think sometimes people miss out on the work that it took, and they think that it just came to you and that, followers and signups and everything fell from the sky all of a sudden. And so what was that journey like for you when you were going through transition? Were you frustrated? Were you feeling like God kind of had you in a transition of not getting any answers? And, obviously like you have a very strong faith, and I know that you keep God at the center of your house and your business and everything that you do. So were there any, obviously there's trials and frustrations. What was that like?
For sure. We run our house, God family business in that order. And I know you guys are on the same page, and, it's funny, like, in business stuff, what have you. Yes, unfortunately, our company merged with another one. It just didn't align with what we were doing. And some things got array, in business, which kind of led, family to kind of be a little bit disorganized. And, it just really got us thinking, if God is truly the center and focus of our family and in what we do, right? Okay, why are we putting all this extra added stress and all this other stuff? So when things get kind of crazy, we just feel that tug, that pull, like to get back and get centered, right? Get back right with God and really, get powerful, believe strongly in prayer, and really just kind of hold the reins back to where instead of like panicking, letting everything just kind of just go nuts and crazy and us to hit the panic button and maybe do something we would regret later, we just took a step back. Of course, it was stressful. I think when, at a time where, it almost kind of was like overnight your business was gone. It was kind of like, okay, right, back's against the wall. What shall we do? But trials, tribulations. I mean, first and foremost, we made some of the most incredible relationships over the course of our 7.5 years of building. And you know what? Some of those got tarnished, I think, a little bit, just because of us not wanting to move forward, or us not doing this, or us not doing that. I think that's part of the journey. One of the things that we learned in this process was that, we as Christ followers have to really understand what's the end goal here. Right? What are we really trying to achieve? What are we really trying to accomplish? And I believe he continues to give us signs in terms of the path and the steps that we must take. But I'll tell you what, nothing has ever been handed to us. We're the type that's that when we get an idea, we're all in. We're going for it. We're running it. We're not looking left, not looking right. Critics, naysayers, maybe here, maybe there. I think everybody's got them, right? Not everybody's going to be a fan, but we saw an opportunity. We saw an opportunity to serve our profession at a time where I think technology was really emerging. It still is emerging each and every day, and I just think that there was a big lack of education in our space. I mean, thanks to folks like us and you, Jen, are out there continuing to lead with education and teach folks how to do this the right way, because we truly believe that network marketing is an incredible vehicle for anyone out there tuning in, listening, to be able to achieve their dreams, for sure.
Absolutely. And, I think it's so easy to get lost in the shuffle of this space as well, because I know from my experience, I was always seeking, like, how can I make money? How can I make money? Hopping from company to company to company, struggling for years and years and years. And there was so much external searching versus internal discovery. What I really believe a lot of people focus on tactic, like, oh, just tell me the things I need to do every day. What was it about leadership? How important was leadership for you when you had, because I think that's the big shift that people need to make. It's like, it's not about the tactic, it's the leadership.
Absolutely, and you make a great point. It's, whether it's network marketing or other entrepreneurial type journeys, I think that, that prize, or that, that dollar amount, or that rank, or that title, or that word success, like people are chasing and chasing and chasing you. I just love this terminology that you've used, external versus internal. It's like we're just continuing to long for, like, to be successful, long for, make six figures a year. We're longing for the acceptance and approval of other people. We're longing for this, we're longing for that. And you make a great point, and I think this might be part of our transition. Is we took a step back and we said, is this about a rank? Is this about a title? Is this about, standing on a stage and claiming that we're successful? Or is this a lot bigger than that? And I think that that's really the shift that we had in choosing and really understanding. Danny and I, we got back together. We mapped out the each and every year we do this. We love to do this. Each and every year we map out the vision for that year, our roadmap plan. I do mine, she does hers. Then we come together and then we share, and then we make one collective one. Each and every year we do this, and we follow up every quarter. We go back, reflect, look at those things. But when we talk about, the external longing for something versus the internal understanding, why are we actually doing something? We know this for sure, is the network marketing space, and now even the coaching and training platform, has provided us to be able to share the good news. You know what I'm saying? We realized that we were not the focus, that it wasn't about a dollar amount, it wasn't about a rank or a title, but it was about impacting other people in a positive way. And we're just super thankful God led us to this place where we're at now, and we feel that by his direction and his guidance, that we're doing the best we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think you guys do it so well. You're really good at being transparent. I love the vlog. It's so cute with the kids. And I love that you guys really have a partnership in your marriage for the business as well. And that how many couples can honestly say they do that every year and then come back and reflect every quarter? I think that's a great thing to really stay in line with helping each other reach your goals and dreams and aspirations, as well as being parents and merging all of that together. And I know you had mentioned, it's interesting because you can have a great successful business one minute, and then all of a sudden it can go away. That is something, the industry can be volatile. So I know a lot of people who have either shifted into coaching, or, a lot of leaders learning to incorporate that and creating their own products and services along the way. When do you think it's good for someone to step over the fence or hop over the fence and start incorporating? Is everybody a coach? Is that a route that everybody should be taking in network marketing?
Great. This is a fantastic question, by the way. I may or may not be biased in this. I don't think, I'll just say it right out, I don't think, the coaching and training side is for everyone. We see network marketing as an incredible opportunity, incredible vehicle that I still believe a big part of the population is either doesn't know about, is uneducated about. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even know that it exists. There's a lot of stereotypes and stigmas, let's call it what it is, out there of what they perceive network marketing to be. But you know what? I think that each and every one of us, Jen, are on our own journey. I think each and every one of us, have our own calling. But I truly, truly think that for the entrepreneur out there, that network marketing is an incredible starting point. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that, we should go into network marketing, or maybe if those of you who are in network marketing watching this, I don't necessarily think that we should say, well, I want to be a coach or I want to be a trainer. Like, let's stay in our lane. Let's focus for a moment. And as the chips fall, as you progress in your own journey and your own success, if that so, happens to be the case down the road, then absolutely more power to you. But I'll tell you what, when we started in the network marketing space, I didn't have this longing, long shot vision of becoming a coach and a trainer. Does that make sense? I'm the guy that took a speech class in junior college that had to do a 30-second speech on baseball with note cards in hand. And I'm back there shivering and shaking, elbowing the teacher saying, can you just give me an F because I can't do this. Yeah. I can't get up and talk in front of 10 people, read note cards about baseball. Now that we know baseball is pretty much my life. If that kind of gives you an idea of, Jen, I know you talked about me doing videos now, like just the journey and what it's amounted to, it's pretty crazy.
And what's so interesting about that, Brian, is that you didn't really even need note cards to talk about baseball, did you?
And I eat, breathe, and sleep baseball my whole life. And to talk about it for 30 seconds in front of 10 people, come on, you thought that would have been super simple.
And what's so funny is when it comes to content, people think because they want to create content, they need to be a coach. And I think that's where it gets very fuzzy. And I think when people struggle with content, it's because they're not leading from experience. They're leading from, oh, I read a book and here's what I read, and they're curating or they're regurgitating, but they're not leading from a place of true wisdom or true experience. Because I remember Gary Vaynerchuk saying, if you can't go on stage and just talk about your thing, it's not your thing, right? It's not your thing yet. So how can people move from that place of, I know like the ILT method, invest, learn, teach, that's awesome. But I truly believe that your message and your mission comes from personal experience and the wisdom that you have.
For sure. I think what might be fitting for this example is even just kind of sharing in our previous company that we had a great run in, really sharing that experience. I think that this will tie in perfectly to this is before we got introduced to that second company where we went on a 3-year run, Danny and I, for the previous year or two leading up to that, we started doing a lot of due diligence, a lot of research, a lot of Googling, right? And learning about chemicals and toxins in everyday products, right? That's just something we were doing. And so when that opportunity was presented to us, we were kind of like, well, this already kind of aligns with some of the shifts we've been making personally in our household. And how awesome would it be to now almost kind of have a bigger platform to stand on and share that news. And so in the 3 years of building, it was really, really cool for us. And I love the differentiation that you made between like, just ILT, and just taking something, oh, Coach Fryer shared Facebook recruiting tips, I'm going to go do a video on that when I haven't recruited anybody. Like that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But when we were actively building, we were experiencing, we were living that life. We were making the transitions in what we were doing. And we never wanted to be seen as an expert. And I think so many feel like maybe they have to be. We just wanted others to get value from what we were sharing. And we just wanted to be a light. We just wanted to be a resource. Whether you took the information or not, that was up to them. But it was something that we could speak from the heart and speak with conviction about because we were actually living it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I think that was a huge testament to our success in that company is because that was something that aligned with us. That was something we were doing on the daily. That was, and one more thing I'll share in that is like, it didn't matter. Like if people reached out to us, we literally had people FaceTiming us sitting in the middle of the grocery store aisle on the laundry detergent aisle, for example, saying, I can't necessarily afford your products or whatever it is you guys have to offer, but can you give us some insight as to which one of these 3 are the safest?
Yeah.
And that was a big light bulb moment for us is we weren't always, pitching our products just because we were educating, but we were seen as that resource willing to help and serve someone. And I really think that spoke a lot of volume.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that story and I think that's so awesome. So one of the things that I experienced when I was doing the hopping around in my day in network marketing is that I never really felt a connection with the products or the services or the consumables just weren't my jam. And so do you find that some people, they get introduced to a business through a friend or through a family member or through someone, and they don't realize that there's other companies that do the same thing. they might even align with better. So do you feel there's some people that are, maybe doing something or a part of a network marketing company that really isn't a fit for them? And if that's the case, how can they pivot? How can they really get in alignment with what they're
Yeah.
called to do?
I absolutely believe that's true. Actually, we just finished up our first ever live event for our masterminders this last weekend, and one of our clients literally came up to me and asked me this same question. She was, she's a part of a company just because a friend shared some products with her. She got super excited, like might be able to make some dough, and joined it. And she's just been the last 2.5 months. She's just been really struggling with, how do I put this out there? I'm not really passionate about what this product is and what it does. I'm just kind of, just here, kind of hanging out. And some of the things that we shared with her was first and foremost, for me, it's got to be something that is more than just a product. It's more than just a comp plan. It's more than even, the sponsor, the person, the people are very important, but even more important than that is, can you, right, honestly stand behind the vision, the mission, the cause of what it is you're actually a part of? You know what I'm saying? Because that is actually going to be the driving force of you going out there and speaking with conviction and sharing the products, what have you. Not necessarily just because you're going to make a few bucks, not necessarily just because it's the newest, hottest product or opportunity out there. And again, I'll go back to our previous company, is the mission and the core values aligned with what it is we were all about before we even said yes. We found that first. Then the people, the leadership were next. Then we realized the products were awesome. And then the chips just kind of fell as they were. So, I would highly encourage, for those of you that are watching, that, if you're not super fired up and excited about what it is you have your hands on and the mission that you're serving within that particular company, like, it may be time to just sit there and kind of reevaluate. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, what if they just kind of think, I like the idea of this online thing, but I don't know about network marketing. Like, what else? What are some steps you would suggest taking if people just want to do some soul searching on just creating their own business online? Because obviously, you do coaching and you have your own products and services, and you can really create a product or a service around anything. So what would you suggest people do if they just kind of want to go a different route?
This is another phenomenal question. There's probably 100 different ways I could spin this. But can we just say thank you for just this emergence of technology and the ability that each and every one of us has with technology, phones, computers, to really, literally, like, maybe the majority of the population still doesn't believe me, but like, we can literally create something from nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You just need a Google search bar. I heard Rachel Hollis say that. You just need a Google search bar.
Google search bar. It's absolutely incredible. Network marketing may or may not be the answer for those of you guys watching, but don't discredit what you can create leveraging something online. I'll give a couple of examples. Just some recent conversations that I've had is, I don't necessarily know what the number is, but the surgence in the amount of informational products that are out there today, like, there's this huge surge, right, in folks out there creating informational resources. And the number one thing people are seeking today is information. So there's this huge boom in informational sales, for example. So my question to each and every one of you maybe watching is, what is something that you're knowledgeable around? What is it? What is something maybe you have a passion for? I'm going to give a few examples here just to kind of just totally be off the cusp, right? So I got a good buddy at the gym, right? I got a good buddy at the gym, and he works a factory job, and in his spare time he works on cars in his garage, right? Like, if you get a dent on your bumper, like, he's the guy, he'll fix it up right in his garage. Okay. And he does that for some extra side cash. And I was chatting with him at the gym the other day. I'm just like, dude, you're knowledgeable about what you do. Yeah. He goes, yeah, I've done over 500 cars. I was like, okay, so you have a good idea of what you do. I was like, what if you could do this, this, and this, right? I was basically sharing, like, what if you just set up a camera, right? Record you doing a few different things, right? And put together some information, some resources that are going to help other folks out there who are trying to make a few extra bucks and maybe repairing cars in their garage, right? Totally off the cusp. You guys probably had no idea I was going to maybe share that example, but wheels just started spinning. One other example. my mother-in-law, she, does vinyl printing and screening and all this cool stuff and makes lots of cool stuff. And, a couple months ago, we were having a conversation with her and, we were sharing, like, have you ever thought of this? Like, you're big with the hands-on and making all the stuff and spending a lot of time, energy, money, resources to create all this stuff. Have you ever thought about creating some information that would help others who are doing the hands-on process and teaching them and showing them the tips, the tricks, the strategies that and the expertise in the realm that you have around creating vinyl and screen printing? And it was just like light bulb after light bulb. So hopefully those two tips are kind of helpful. I know it's kind of outside the realm, but get you guys to think outside the box a little bit, that you can literally create something out of nothing.
It's true. And information is so key. I mean, when my daughter was born, I would make all of her bows and her tutus, and I just learned it from YouTube. And then I got into baking and learned how to make fondant, and I just learned it all from YouTube. And so information, and then I bought a Cricut machine and I sold it because I'm like, there ain't no information on this. Like, how do I use this thing? So
tip resource for those of you guys watching who have a Cricut. There you go.
Yeah, so, like create some information around the Cricut. Like, you had to actually take classes. I think you could pay to take classes at the craft store, right, to like learn how to use the machine. So it's so true. Information is so key. So I think a lot of what you're saying is a lot of what I like to spread is aligning with your shape, your spiritual gifts, your heart, your ability, your personality, your experiences. And a lot of times I think it's just untapped. Like, people don't tap into their greatness because they've shoved it in a closet. And we're in a land of comparatitis now, where we're constantly looking at what other people are doing. And like you said, we're trying to do, Brian did a video on that, so that's what I'm going to go do because he's successful, so I'm going to do that thing. And instead, we're just kind of regurgitating all this stuff, and it's not really authentic to who you are, and you're missing out on the thing you could really be great at because you're ignoring your gifts. So what are some, like, for you guys always have great ideas and you execute with it's almost like you're fearless and you're like, we got a new big thing happening, and like, you just go for it. Like, how can people get into that mindset shift of, you have so many ideas a day, why are you not executing on them?
Yeah. I've been told recently that I'm a visionary. Like, like I see things 6-12 months out from now.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's how we work. That's how we plan. Like, what you see us out there doing today is the work that we put in, the plan that we set 6-12 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, really cool. But it also was super, super humbling. But I want the viewers who are tuning in to understand that, like, I wasn't like born a visionary, right? I wasn't, even halfway through my baseball career, I had no freaking clue what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, what have you. And I'll tell you the secret as to how we've gotten to this point. And it's a phrase that I love to share. You may or may not have heard this, but it's not being afraid to take imperfect action. Mm-hmm. What we realized is that, everybody said, formulate a plan, do this, create a vision, and then take action. It's like, it's all awesome. It's great. It's awesome. But the scary part is actually in the doing. And the learning lessons that we're all going to experience, no matter what realm, what niche, what it is you're doing, is the learning lessons are going to come in and through you taking action. The learning lessons don't come in the formulation stage. All these things don't just all of a sudden come to you when you're mapping out the steps. Mm-hmm. The things we're going to learn is going to only come in and through our imperfect action. So I'm the first to say we're far from perfect at anything we do, but you know what we do really well is when we have a concept or idea, we implement it. We don't look left, we don't look right. And you know what? We look back up 3 months, 6 months later, and we're like, wow, look how far we've come.
Right. And it doesn't mean you don't have a plan, because the whole thing, like, fail to plan, plan to fail. So when is it too much planning? Like, when is it like, okay, now you're going overboard, you just need to go do the thing? Like, what's too much?
How about we just share I like sharing examples. I think
that's great.
So behind the scenes, my wife Danny, she's working on some cool stuff, which we're super excited about. But we were just chatting last night. Put all the kids to bed. We're sitting on the couch chatting, mapping out some things for her and some of the exciting things she's got coming. And she brought back up some of the things that I thought we finalized 2 weeks ago. Like we finalized them 2 weeks ago. This is how it's going to go. This is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it. And then I was, expecting or assuming that, she would just take the action. And then all of a sudden we got brought back up last night. She's like, well, I'm not too sure. Maybe about this thing, maybe about that thing. And then literally, Jen, mid-sentence, she was just like, oh my gosh, I'm being that person right now. Like we formulated the plan. Okay, we mapped out the action steps, and I'm over here reconsidering, tweak this, tweak that, perfectionitis, compareitis, all this stuff. Well, this person didn't do it this way, and maybe I could do it this way. It's like, no, we were solid, we were firm on what actions you wanted to take. Now we just need to get to the doing of it. So the time frame may be a little bit different for each and every one of you. Jen's absolutely right. You've got to create and cast a vision. You've got to formulate the steps, but once you formulate it and you make that decision, boom, here's step 1, step 2, step 3, put those aside and now just go act upon those things, because in the process of you taking action, you're going to learn where to improve. You're going to learn where you can do better next time, but that's part of growing.
Yeah. And one of the things I discussed with an interview I did with Jill was, both of us created we announced we were going to do something, but we hadn't created it yet. And sometimes I'm sure you've done that where you're like, yep, we're launching this, but it's not even done yet. And I think they're competing because it's important to realize that if you put yourself out there and commit and declare you're doing it, that forces you into the action and delivering on the promise. And so you can't back out. And it gives, I think a lot of times we just don't execute because we don't have a deadline or we don't put a date on it. And we keep allowing ourselves to make it better or tweak it, right? So it's so important. Like your calendar dictates a lot of the success too, I think. And I think with you guys having 4 kids and doing all the things that you do, like I think a lot of people are probably just wondering, like, how do you guys do it? Like how do you stay so productive with the chaos? Because it is chaos.
Yes. That's a phenomenal question. Calendars are key. I wouldn't say that we've always been the best at managing time, but we're always a work in progress. But I think that the more each and every one of us can work on valuing our time and then managing our time best is great. I'll give you guys just an idea in terms of what we do. We have a couple of different calendars in our house personally. We recently, maybe 6 months ago, we bought, good old technology, right? We bought the Alexa Show, right? The Alexa Show, it's got the screen on there, it's downstairs. You can literally, tell her, hey, Alexa, add such and such to my calendar tomorrow, Tuesday, whatever. But a couple of things we've done is I use Calendly for my current calendar online. I think I'm going to be making a transition to a new one called Acuity in the next couple of weeks. My wife uses that one. She loves it. But long story short, leveraging technology in a way to where something like the Alexa Show, and we tell Alexa, add this, add that, is that we've got them all synced up, Jen, to where if I was to go downstairs right now and say, Alexa, book off, this, I got an interview with Jen for her summit at, 3:30 Eastern, block off an hour. Well, what happens is it syncs up, it checks off and makes that unavailable on my digital calendar, and it actually makes it unavailable on Danny's calendar. It says Brian's busy for this hour. So we've all been notified, okay? We're all on the same page, and it's been something that's really, really helped us manage our time best.
That's awesome. I love it. And it's so easy because digital is key. I know me and my husband use just Google Calendar and share the calendars so we can see everything that's going on. And
I think even the and this is one of the reasons why I'm switching to Acuity soon, is because at the Acuity it'll even block out the calendar on your phone, like on your phone calendar, right. It'll block off that space, so it'll do it all just by you telling Alexa.
They sync.
I love technology.
I'm going to be transparent. Here's my issue with like Calendly and all of that. I feel like I'm giving too much control of my calendar over to people. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, here's my calendar, and then I feel like, oh my gosh, what if something else comes up that like now that's no longer going to work? Or, it's almost like I feel like I don't know. That might be a mindset thing where I'm just releasing too much of and obviously you can block off hours and things like that. But then there's certain times where I'm like, well, this hour is not going to work, but these chunks do. I don't know. Like maybe I'm missing the thing on that.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the learning curve, part of the process. I'll tell you guys what I do. So weekends or you can't do anything on my calendar on weekends.
Yeah.
Mondays and Fridays on my calendar, you can't book anything. Those are like admin or fun days, whatever. I just block Mondays and Fridays off so nobody can book anything. And then for client stuff, I literally set a window Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 11 a.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern. That doesn't mean that that time is always full, but that's the 4 hours in the middle of the day, those 3 days of the week that I commit to client calls.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've had it that way for at least over a year now, and it's really helped me better manage my time so that on Mondays or in the mornings on Tuesdays or Friday mornings or whatever, that I can work on the other things that are on my priority list.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. So when it comes to, let's talk guilt. I know moms and dads have a lot of guilt around working when their kids are home, but you work from home. So it's kind of like, how do you ever have those moments where you're like, I'm being a bad parent right now?
Yes, the answer is yes. I don't think that that's something that ever is going to go away, or that we should, strive to. And we're always striving to do better, but I don't think that it's something we're going to be able to eliminate. Here's something that Danny and I do, and I encourage all those who are watching to do this as well. Is first of all, our kids. That we have a 9-year-old, 6-year-old, 3.5-year-old, 8-month-old, right? They see mom, dad on their phones, on the computer, and that's all they see, right? They don't understand that you're building a business, or you're working the business, or you're doing an interview, or they don't understand that part. All they know and see is you're on your phone, you're on your computer. And I think it's really important. Something that we do is we set expectations and we communicate with our kids, right? Each and every day, each and every morning, like, hey, dad's booked from this time to this time. Mom's got 2 calls from here to here. I'm going to have to be on the phone, what have you. But I just think an open line of communication with our spouses, with our kids is crucial. And really doing the best we can. We try to teach them at least once or twice a week that, we're working, and this is what we're doing to provide for you, and this, and like, they still don't, I don't think, put the pieces quite together just yet, in understanding the importance of working in the, just the ability to be leverage technology. But I would say that communication with our kiddos and setting expectations with them, and just, maybe even setting goals, right? Hey, we're going to do this, and this. And once we're done with this, all phones away, we're going to go have some fun. We're going to do this, and this. I think just that open line of communication with kids has really, really helped us.
Yeah. No, I think that's important. We do the same thing. Like, and they know, they're like, they even ask me, Mom, do you have a webinar today? Or do you have they start to get the terminology, and
Dad, you got any videos today? Yep.
I know they kind of want you to, so they can go get in trouble. They're like, so do you have like a webinar or anything today?
they're over there making their own Calendly and Acuity scheduling, their appointments. You got a video tonight at 9, Dad? Cool. I'm going to be over here. Right?
Yeah. Or I'll walk in their room. They're like, Mom, stop. We're doing a video. I'm like, oh, sorry. Like,
That's awesome.
It's pretty
a taste of our own medicine, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, they're like, be quiet. We're doing a video. So I'm getting, I'm eating my own words. So, all right, someone's new, someone's been doing this struggling, someone's, having success, but they're still like looking to grow. What are some steps? What are some steps that you suggest people do to really take imperfect action, move through fear, and keep in alignment with God's calling for what they're supposed to be doing?
Great question. I'm a big fan of sharing not what I think works, not what I think you guys watching should do, but I'm a bigger fan of just sharing, hey, here's what I do. Mm-hmm. And I think that's as transparent as can be, is running businesses, whether they're going the way we want them to or not, and all the noise and the chaos, outside our 4 walls of our home, online. I mean, it's just so much stuff going on that I feel that sometimes we lose sight of the importance of investing in ourselves. And so I'll start with this, is I know for me personally, each and every morning, if I want to get the most out of my day, if I want to make the biggest amount of impact, I know that I need to pour into myself first. This is just what I have to do. So my typical morning is this. I'm up 6:15, 6:20. I get our 2 older girls breakfast, get them all set, backpacks packed, folders, all that cool stuff, get them off to school and on the bus at 7:05. And then from 7:05 to about 7:45, I literally, wife, Danny, she's still sleeping, baby's asleep, son is asleep, and I sit on the couch, right? I got my book that I'm reading at the time. I'm reading a great book right now called The Outliers. It's a great book.
Yeah.
And I spend 20 minutes, okay, no more, no less, 20 minutes, and I read for 20 minutes. I'm immersed in this book. Okay. And then after I'm done with that, right, I'm pouring into myself. And for those of you wondering what other types of books, I like to switch it up. What one book is faith-driven book. The next book is business building book. The next one is finance types of book. Next one is inspirational type of book, leadership book. I like to always kind of mix it up a little bit of everything. But 20 minutes of reading for me. And then right after that, I pull out my Bible app on my phone, and I read not only the passage for the day, but then I open up that scripture and actually read the entire scripture. And then definitely, I pray about it, pray about the day, pray for those around us, what have you. So that takes me another 20-minute block. Okay. But now I feel filled up. I feel like my cup has been filled. Therefore, now I can go pour into my wife. I can pour into my kids. I can pour into our communities. We can pour into our clients. And trust me, I know back in the days when I didn't make that a priority, I found myself in a lot of difficult situations. Meaning just like, not in the best of moods. You know what I'm saying? Or not feeling like, did a client call and really didn't feel like I gave them my all, because I hadn't filled my cup first. So that's what I would recommend and encourage all to do.
Awesome. I absolutely love it. I am so excited for where you guys are headed, everything you've accomplished. And where can people find you?
I'm everywhere.
I know.
You just open up your phone. You're going to see Coach Fryer pop up somewhere.
I am your thumbnail on your phone, okay?
I am the background on your. I literally had my mom message me last week, and she's like, I was playing this game that I downloaded, and all of a sudden this ad came up mid-game, and there was your face. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. You're over in California, literally everywhere you go. No, we, our blog, coachfryer.com is a great resource. Is this, you want me to share our free resource at this time?
Yeah, you have a free resource as well.
Sure, yeah. One of our favorites, our favorite free downloads, you can go to coachfryer.com / the number 7, and then the letter S, 7 strategies to generate leads online. Social media is our jam. And we love serving entrepreneurs, network marketers, teaching them how to build businesses on social media the right way. And hopefully that resource will help you guys out.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian, for all your insights, your wisdom, your nuggets. And you guys check out the vlog too. It's on Sundays, right? Sundays.
We actually transitioned to Tuesday nights, but yes, once per week, every Tuesday night, we upload that to the vlog. And that's not a whole lot of business, more family behind the scenes, just, for those of you who are entrepreneurs and have kids and trying to figure out the whole balance thing and how do you do this, how do you do that? Listen, it's a mess, and I'm sure yours is a mess too, but we started the vlog to just bring that next level of transparency and basically saying, hey, you know what? If we can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. Brian, you're the best, and we'll see you guys later.
You rock. Thanks so much, Jen. Take care, guys.